Let us talk about combining and merging data in Pandas. Now let us import our libraries Pandas as PD and NumPy as NP. Let us also take two data frames, okay, with D1 and D2. Now let us execute D1 and D2 here. Now here we will use a merge method, okay, PD dot tab merge, okay. Now I would like to merge here D1 and D2. Okay, let's see what we have here. Now we could able to see that there is an intersection between the key here. The one which are common between these two data frames with the column key, they are only presented here. So by default, how is equal to here? Here you can see there is a parameter how which is having an argument called inner. So by default, how is taking inner join. Now let's look at another one. Even let's take this take this same, let's copy here. Now here I would like to do on, we have a parameter called on. I'd like to pass an argument called key. Now here we get the same thing because by default it is taking on key column, right? Now let's take another two data frames which is D3 and D4. Now let us execute D3 and D4. Let us see what we have here. Now this time I would like to use the same thing PD dot merge. Okay, here we are trying to use only a merge method and later we'll use concatenate method as well. So here I would like to just write here D3 and D4. Now we'll use here some parameters. Here we have left on. Let's say, let's take these parameters left on and right on. So we have here keys, right? On the left we have key 1 because here we have two different columns. One is with key 1 and the other one is with key 2. So we need to specify here for what column we are trying to merge so that it will take those parameters and make it common and we get the output. Now here it should be key 2. Now what we have here is the one which is common in both got executed. You can see here for key 1 we have got BCCA, sorry, BCCE. For key 2 also we have got BCCE. So the one which are common in both got executed because we have specified here a parameter called left on and right on. Now let's see how what we can do with this again. Now let us use D1 and D2. Okay, this time I would like to see what we have by using outer join. So for that I'll just use PD dot merger merge D1 and D2. This time I'll just use how is equal to outer. So when I use outer I'll get everything. I'll get everything. See here we have it joins with the help of key. So it will take everything A, B, C, C, whatever that is there between these two, it will also take that, and also what is not available here in the key in the data frame D1, that also will take. Now here you can see some NaN because we don't have this specified values here in num2 column. So this is simple mathematics in our sets when we have studied in our 10th class. This is quite common like union, intersection. Now this time I would like to use another one which is I'll just use how is equal to left. This time it will use only the left one, left join it is. So the one which is there in the left, that means in the data frame D1 key column, it will consider that and it will proceed further. Now let us also see what we'll get by using how is equal to right. This time it will take on the data frame D2. Now we get that which is common for data frame D2, B, C, E, F, B, C, C, because C we have two times in the data frame D1. So that is why it is taking C. It just maps between these key columns to these key columns, like data frame D1 key columns to data frame D2 key columns. Now this is about the right parameter, right argument. Okay, now let's see what we get by using inner join. So we did already, right? So now let's take other two data frames. Let's say this time df1 and df2. Now let us execute df1. Now let us also see what is there in df2. Okay, this time I would like to execute. Okay, let me just use pd dot merge. Okay, now we are merging df1 and df2 on keys because here we have key column and num column and count column, right? So this time we'd like to do the merging on key column and count column. For that I can just use on parameter and I can pass the arguments in the list which is key and count, which is key and count. Now here I would like to join outer one. Okay, outer join means it will take the complete parameters what that exist in key and count. So here we'll have how is equal to outer. Now we get here all the parameters that are presented in key and count. Now that one which doesn't exist in the num column will be representing as NaN here. Now let's go further. Let's explore some more here. This time I would like to use only on the key, not on the count. I can do that simply by using just copy and paste here. This time I won't use list here because I only have one column. So simply I can just put it in quotations. So now I can get information with respect to the key, and outer join means it will consider everything common in key. So the one which doesn't exist in common will be representing as NaN here. Alright, now let's look at another one. Suppose here we have got count X and count Y. If you observe carefully, if you would like to have this with other names, then for that I can use a parameter called suffix, which is there inside a data frame. For that I'll just use this time I'll just use suffix, right? Let me just see here inside. Okay, suffixes. I can just copy this and paste it here. Now I can just mention here data data1 and data2. Now we can see that our columns with count x and count y got changed. Right. Now let's see other one. Let's take another data frames d1 and df2. Okay. Now let me execute df1 and df2. So we have this data frame here, df2, we have another data frame here. Now this time I'll just use some parameter here. Let me just write here pd dot merge, okay, which is there here. Now I will take the two data frames df1 and df2, and this time I'll just see what parameters we have here. So let me take left on, okay, left on. Letter I will take, okay, I'll take letter here, which is a column in df1, and then I'll take another parameter. Let's see what we can take here. Let's say our right index is true. I'm just trying to map letter with index here. So right index I'll just copy here, paste it here, is equal to true. Now you can see that I could able to map the letter with the index here. So we have got all. By default it is taking inner join. So we got all the letters with inner join. Right. Now let's move on from here. Let's take another data frame. Let's say we have assigned a variable here with right and left here. Okay. Now here in this case I would like to do differently. pd dot, I'll just use a merge method. Okay. Now let's say right and left will be our data frame. Okay. Now here I would like to take uh, let me execute this first because I'm not sure what is here. So let's see what is there in the right. Okay, let us also see what is there in the left. Now here I would like to do right index whatever is there here. I would like to map this right index to the left index. The right index of the data frame right will map to the left index of the data frame left. So for that I can just use shift tab, right index is equal to true and left index is equal to true. How we are going to join? Let's join this time outer so that I can consider everything. How is equal to outer. Now we can see that everything got here. We have got outer means every parameter in the index got displayed here, and we have nan values where they don't exist a number. We can also use a join method, but it is recommended to use either join or merge method, but I'm comfortable with merge method, so I generally go with merge method. All right, now let us talk a few things on concatenating along an axis. Now let me just let me just use a variable called seq. Okay, now I'll use numpy library here, np.arrange. I just need some 30 values here, np30. Okay, now I just need that in 4 by 4 matrix or 4 by 5 matrix reshape. I can just say that 4 by 5, 4 rows and 5 columns. Now what's wrong here? 4 5 20, so I need to put here 20 then. Yeah, it's not matching. So okay, now let me just execute this so that I can get the matrix here. Okay, I've got the values from 0 to 19. Now let me concatenate this with by using np dot. We have a concatenate method. Concatenate. You can also do it with pandas. Okay, concatenate, and let's use the list inside the closed brackets. Let's say seq and seq. Okay, now I would like to concatenate in the column wise, so I can just give axis is equal to 1. So I can, it's just added a few other columns on the right side with same set of matrix because I have given here twice. Now if I would like to just give without an axis, by default it will take axis is equal to 0. It will concatenate below. Right, now let me take few data frames here. Let's say we have a data frame data1, data2 and data3. Now let me just execute this and see what we have here, data2 and data3. Now here I would like to concatenate all three datas. Okay, all these three data frames. For that I'll just use pd. This time I would like to use pd pandas. Okay, pd dot, I have a method for pandas as concat. Okay, now here I'll just use the list here and say that data1, okay, data2 and data3. All right, now we could able to get all the information along the rows. Suppose if I would like to give here axis is equal to 1, axis is equal to 1, then I will have in the row wise operation, you can see 0 1 2. Right, now let me take another data frame which is called data4 data frame. Okay, now here what actually I did, I just concatenated data1 with data4 by using axis 1, that is along the column side. Okay, now let me just not confuse with this. Let us execute first data frame data4. Now let us execute this. Let us concatenate this data1 here and data4 in the column wise. And I'm also saying here, I'm also using a join parameter saying that it should go with inner join. Let's see what we have here. Now you can see here we have data1. Okay, data, let us also put here data1 so that we can see what is there in the data1. So now data1 and data4 here we have 0, it just got in the column wise operation, and it has also took the parameter called join and it is taking along the same row. We have now fixed index A and B here. So that's how we can take, and let's see few more examples. Let me just have a variable x which is my data frame here. Okay, This time I would like to give assign here the keys, right? Keys means I will just have the indexes here with 1, 2 and 3. Let's see what we'll have. Let's execute X. See, we have now indexes with 1, 2 and 3. Similarly, we can use it. Let us also use a few more examples here. Let's use this time. And this is axis is equal to 1. That means it will concatenate in the column wise. Now columns will take 1, 2 and 3. Let's see what we'll have here. Now we can see here 1, 2, 3 will be taken by columns. Now let us also take another two data frames df1 and df2. Okay, another data frames df1 and df2. Now what we have here is let us see what we have here. df1 we have this, df2 we have this. Now here I would like to use something called pd.concat pd.concat and use two data frames. Let's say df1 and df2. These are my data frames. Now I would like to put it in a column wise. For that I'll just take a parameter axis is equal to 1, and I would like to assign the indexes, not the indexes, I would like to assign the column names with s1 and s2 is equal to s1 s1 and s2. All right, and that's it. Let's see what we'll have here. You can see it here. Here I have got the column names with s1 and s2, and this column s1 has another sub columns with 1, 2, and this column s2 is having other sub columns with 3 and 4. Right, now let's look at another data frame here. So this time I'll just use data 1 and data 2. Okay, now when I execute data 1, I will have this data, and with data 2 I'll have this data. Now if I use concat pd dot, I can just do this concat. Okay, use this data frames. Okay, data 1 and data 2. All right, now ignore, let me just I don't want this index actually. Suppose if we print this, we get something like this. So it doesn't look good for seeing. So for that I'll write it as ignore index is equal to, but by default it is false. So I'm just using here true. Now this is gone. Now the new indexes starting from 0, 1, 2, 3 we have got. All right, this is about concatenation. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.